think, I hope, I could well be. All right, I think we're running. All right, well, hey, welcome back. I appreciate you guys tuning in again. This is, I think this is, for us internally, like the 5th session of this, right? But I'm not sure that we've actually been recording them all. And last week we had to abandon. So welcome back to the 3 players to Deathmatch Island. It's good to see you all again. Let me give you a little summary of where we ended up, and then one of you can take it from there maybe and provide some more details on what's going on. So, you guys landed, you successfully went through the first island, right? So that was done and dusted. You got onto a boat that took you to another island, and from that island, you started making your way inshore. You came across at the water treatment facility. There was another group, and you were in a contest with them, which you guys successfully won. You then went to the zoological research station. Anyone remember what happened when you got to the zoological research station?
Oh, like usual, my talks failed, and then we tried the aggressive route, and it happened to not work out that way either.
I like how you summarize all of that. Bobby or Edgar? Sorry, Candace. No, Bobby or Edgar. Any other details that you remember from that?
We cheated playing football, right?
That was at the water treatment facility. You got here, and Quincy, the woman that had tried to talk to you during your first couple of minutes on the first island, she was there with a group. They were trying to get inside some of the cages, some of the monkey cages inside of the zoo facility to get some crates in there. One of you had the bright idea of throwing a grenade. It didn't go well, and so we faded to black with you being locked into the crates by Quincy and her team, because they couldn't, even though you'd thrown a grenade at them, they couldn't bring them to essentially shoot you in cold blood. So they left you there, and you are locked up in a crate, and all of you in the same crate or in a cage, and there's a monkey that's sitting on top of the cage that's laughing at you. So that's where we faded out. We're going to come back in this week. So does one of you care to give, based on the description I just gave you and your recollection, would one of you give us a talking head summarizing and welcoming us back into the game?
Yeah, Edgar's looking at the camera, being like, I'm surrounded by water, but more importantly, I'm surrounded by idiots. They don't know how to use guns. They don't know how to pull the pin on a freaking grenade. We had these people surrounded. It was a sure thing. All we had to do was kill these people, and we were going to come out on top. We came to this island, the second island. Don't even know how we got here, but we're in a cage. The cage is mostly blasted apart. I'm pretty sure we can just climb out of here. Monkey, shut up! What was I saying? All right, sorry. I've got people around me, and I'm not even sure where we're going from here. We're looking to make the best of what this island has to offer. It's not a lot.
Absolutely beautiful. So with that, we kind of come back into the cage, and you might be right. Some areas have been blown away. It doesn't feel to you like there's an easy exit out of this area, but with enough kind of looking and enough work, you might be able to find one. So what are you guys up to? What's going on?
Check out the cage, see where we are on that. And the monkey was here before, right? We get the feeling that
correct,
he might be sort of placed here, so maybe try and lure the monkey to the cage.
So the monkey feels like it might be even a little bit smarter than you are at the moment, right? So as you're kind of looking around inside the cage and trying to figure out what's going on, the monkey's just doing a lot of, I refuse to do a monkey impression online, but it's doing some kind of banging on its chest and ooh-ah-ahing and mocking you. So again, the monkey may be the most intelligent creature in your vicinity at the moment.
Are we basically stripped of all of our gear too?
Yeah.
We don't have we don't have guns, we don't have anything else, so we're just waking up, looking around, basically probably checking myself for wounds, going over like, oh, head, torso, arms, legs, looking over my companions, being like, is anyone dying? Is anyone dying? If not, stand up. Come on, let's keep moving.
Yeah, if I recall, I was Tom Hanks on the beach at some point here since somebody's grenade toss was a little too close.
Do you mean you got hurt?
Oh, shell-shocked.
Oh, perfect. Just making sure. As I say, I don't remember any injuries from that, but yeah, like a little bit too close from that. You probably still got some ringing in your ears that's indistinguishable from the monkey at this point.
Yeah, I'm not surprised if I don't have any items on me.
So, as you're figuring out, and Bobby, what are you up to, by the way, Bobby? What are you bringing into this?
Yeah, I think I'm probably copying Edgar's moves, checking his extremities are all still there, and doing this weird thing where he just keeps messing with his jaw, doing the big O's to try and get his hearing back because he's never had that before.
Big O's in there, you mean he's kind of like stretching his jaw out, trying to get his ears to pop
Yeah,
out.
the big chewing on, with your jaw in the open to try and free up your ears because it seems to be doing something, but he doesn't know what.
So as you're as you guys are in there and you're trying to get your hearing back, whoever gets their hearing back first, you hear someone kind of like talking to you, and it's almost like it's in a soft, almost mocking tone. So who heard it? Who's closest to the outside of the cage, maybe, and who heard that?
Probably Edgar.
Yeah, I guess Edgar.
Probably Edgar walking around, looking at the cages and like, what's that? Shh, everybody, shut up.
So you hear someone coming up. I'm trying to remember how to turn their how to show you a cast member here in the group. So I will come back to it. So you see someone coming towards you. It's a black lady in her early 30s. She's kind of walking towards you, and she seems to be laughing, but she's also kind of curious about what's going on here, right? Like she kind of looks at you guys, and she doesn't really know what she's seeing or what's going on, but she's still kind of moving towards you. There you go. So if you look on your screen, you will see a card for her. That's Pania. And again, she's kind of heading your way at the moment with a very inquisitive and curious look on her face. Edgar, you're closest to her, by the way.
Hey, over here. Hey, we're stuck. We got ambushed. We don't have weapons. Hey, there's two idiots, and even worse, there's a monkey who I think is more helpful than them.
So she kind of looks through the crate or the cage at you, and she's like jokingly, but she looks at Bobby and says, "Is that one the monkey?" And then she says, "I can see you're stuck in here, but how did you get in there?"
Listen, we came up here. We saw some people. There were some boxes. There was a discussion. It went sideways. Listen, I didn't do anything wrong. Hand to God.
So at that point,
I didn't do anything wrong.
At that point, you realize, like, because she adjusts it, she has a shotgun that's on a strap that's over her shoulder, right? So your comment has evidently made her a little bit nervous, right? So you saying to her, "Hey, like, I got locked in a cage, but I didn't do anything wrong. I haven't done anything at all." That doesn't seem to have gone over all that well with her.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I'm stuck in a cage. You could just leave me here. I didn't do anything wrong. We just came up here. Listen, the game, all of this. My name's Edgar. Edgar Powers. Who are you?
So she smiles and she puts her hand up. She's still not quite ready to put her hand through, but she says, "Nice to meet you, Edgar Powers. I'm Pania. She says, like, I've been, you aren't the first people I've come across on the island, but like, I'm just trying to keep my head down. I'm just moseying on. I'm not trying to get involved in anybody else's business. So, she starts to back away, like she's going to move away from you based on your interaction with her.
Oh no, come on, Penny, baby. I got two idiots in here. They do whatever I say. They'll probably do whatever you say. You know how this goes. It's second island. You don't want to be out here alone. You've probably been out here alone. Come on.
She has. She says, I have. Like, and it's kind of lonely and it's kind of scary, and like her face gets a little bit dark, and it's more than a little bit dangerous. So she's what's the right way of putting it? She seems not amenable exactly, but like she's kind of weighing your offer up, right? So let's have you. This will be a social game or a social challenge in order to try and get to win her over. So let's have you make a check here, right? And there's kind of run you through it again. There's a couple of steps here. So the first step is I lay out what's going on to you guys, which is Penny is there. She's going to be able to get you out. You're going to be have to help, convince her to get you out. So, Edgar, you're the leader for this competition. So, what's the approach and what's the goal?
Yeah, I'm just trying to convince her that the other two are non-hostile. I'm kind of the leader. I'm willing to just defer to her. Let me out. I'll help you. We have no guns. You've got a shotgun. Hey, you're in charge here.
So she kind of picks the readjusts the gun on her shoulder, right? And she's like, "You're right, I do." So she's willing to get into this conversation with you, but you're gonna have to figure out how you're winning her over with this. So give me a second here to figure out what the danger level you've got is.
Should we just shoot you in the head now again? Because this is not going to work.
Well, actually, on that note, just looking outside, do we have any semblance of how long it's been since we've been out?
Couple of hours, like it was early morning, maybe 10:30, 11, mid-morning I should say, 10:30 to 11 when you found it was like early morning when you made your way to the island. So it's probably a few hours. It's probably early afternoon, like maybe 2 p.m. or so. So gauging by where the sun is on the horizon or in the air.
Well, I'm starting to think that based on the last island, may not be too much longer before that next horn blows.
Yeah, maybe that could very well be the case. And you haven't heard, there certainly hasn't been the same level of chaos on this island that you heard on the other island, right? So things seem to be playing out a little bit, not necessarily smoother, but a little bit quieter at the moment. So if you look in chat, so Tim, thankfully for once, the danger level was, or the level for the game was nice and low, right? It was a 6 as opposed to an 11, right? So this hopefully may go in your way a little bit better. So next step, so we have a danger or a target number that is of 6, which is the same for everyone. So each player declares whether or not you're competing or supporting. If you are competing, then by default, everyone rolls in these contests, and you get to kind of announce how you're coming into the competition, right? So I'm assuming, are you all taking part, or are you just supporting and let Edgar run this? How's this unfolding?
I assume I'm supporting and still poking at my eardrums.
Bobby will do puppy dog eyes, sad puppy dog eyes, see if we can convince her.
So you will be taking part. That's not in a support role, right? You'll actually be taking part in it, correct?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Okay, so You will be rolling your own dice pool against the target production number of 6. The exception will be Candice, who's in a support role. You can sit out of the contest and you pass a copy of your capability die to another competitor, right? So when he gets to the roll, I'm assuming that would be going to Edgar, who's making the roll, like who's kind of spearheading this, right? So you don't roll, but you do gain 1 trust with Edgar and 1 new follower box. All right, so for Edgar and for Bobby, you have to announce yourself, right? It could be a voiceover, it could be a talking head, it could just be describing the chyron that's on the bottom third of the screen. But over to you, Edgar. How are you announcing yourself in this competition?
Yeah, Edgar's past appearances. He's just there's a blank screen. Edgar's face appears on it, and it's like, please don't let me die.
I love it. What about you, Bobby?
Cuts to Bobby, and then a little caption down the bottom just comes up with a little Polaroid of a sad doggy, and that's matched up for Bobby's face.
I love it. I love it. Beautifully superimposed. All right, to make a roll, and obviously this is all part of the game, or in the game, so you won't need to remember this. But you'll be rolling your occupation die if it's relevant, your name die. Remember, if you've got a nickname, that adds to it as well. And then your capability die, which in this case would be the social game. Optionally, you can spend fatigue to add a second capability die. You can spend trust to get a copy of an ally's name die, or you can use an acquisition, but I don't think you have any less, to get a D4 bonus die. So I don't know if any of that applies to you, but Edgar, let's start with your roll.
Okay, so that, okay.
Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, so Bobby, over to you. Let's have you make your roll as well.
So occupation dice, I don't get that right because it's.
You'd have to talk me. You'd have to talk me into how the goat farming is helping, right? Are you imitating? I think you were saying like the legs of a goat or something in the first way. So is this you saying like the doughy eyes of a goat and trying to use goat powers on her, or is there another way?
I guess I would have used as much anthropomorphism as I could from my times with the goats. That's all I ever deal with generally. So.
Yes, Candice, it does make Edgar the assistant to the manager to Pania. Yes, that's exactly right. So, over to you there, Bobby. I will allow the use of the occupation die if you're making doughy eyes.
Okay, and then no other capability, and then no advantage, no acquisitions.
Beautiful. All right, so you both passed, which is great for this. So we'll discuss what that means with Pena and how we get there in a second. But to mark off your followers, so Edgar, because you got the highest result, you get 6 boxes of followers. Bobby, as you got the second person gets half. It says it down here. Other competitors receive mark half that amount rounded up, so you get 3. Candice, you got 1 for being in a support role. So. And also, it means that this it's only relevant when we get there. But Edgar, just based on this, you are also the leader for the next challenge because it's the person that gets the highest roll, right? They become the leader for the next challenge. So, can you both narrate, starting with it's the failures first, then successes, then the best. So it would be Bobby and then Edgar. Can you narrate how that played out? Like, what did you say? How did you tie in? Like, what was it that made that successful? Starting with you, Bobby, and then going to Edgar.
So while he's saying this, all the time he's saying this, he's using his hands as talkie devices, and he goes, so once again, we do talkie, but this time, and he points over to Candace and goes, he shuts up, and suddenly we're out of the cage. Someone needs to do some long, hard thinking about themselves.
Man, I love the brothership you guys have developed, and I kind of feel like, as we said, Bobby's developed like he's like vacillated somewhere between like Appalachian goat farmer rather, and someone from Afghanistan. So I feel like he's doing a lot of like he's channeling his inner Borat this episode, and kind of doing like fist up gestures and like just like mafankulo, like flashing his chin over at Candace in derision. So that was beautiful. Thank you, Edgar. What's your summary or what's your take on the situation?
Yeah, the camera cuts away. Edgar looking at all of this, looking at his compadres here in a cage, and this woman with a shotgun who is helping us, and then cuts to a scene very detached from this, and him just smiling and being like, "What did I tell you? Lesbians fucking love me."
I love it. I feel there's almost like a wah wah or like the Jeopardy ba 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 noise that needs to play in the background as it shows pictures of Candace and Bobby. I'm glad that lesbians love you, Edgar. That's a great skill to have in life. All right, so Pena, it cuts to her talking head, and she says, "Yeah, I just felt sorry for them." She said they just look like goofs in there. I was worried that someone would come along that wasn't as good spirited as me, and they might just shoot them while they're in there. So I felt like I had to let them out on humanitarian basis. And then it cuts to the monkey, and the monkey's doing a talking head with just lots of chest beating and ooh, ooh ah, ah noises. So don't really know what he's saying, but he has an opinion on that matter. Hey, let's address your followers for a second. Excuse me. If you fill 40 boxes, then you get, you hit milestones, I should say, of 400,000, 800,000, and 1.6 million. So has anyone changed the amount of followers they've got? Has anyone hit one of those milestones based on that last competition?
No. We all go up them last time.
No.
I think it was just you, Bobby. You were the only one that you got a nickname, right? So your nickname was Mr. Tumnus. Candace doesn't have a nickname yet, and Edgar doesn't have a nickname yet. You got more followers because of yours, like rappelling down that cliff. So Edgar and Candace, did that get you across those milestones, the 400, 800, or the 400?
No, I got 7 more boxes to go.
Okay, Edgar, same for you.
Let me double check.
I feel like this one probably should have put you closer because this is probably like one of the first ones I didn't participate in.
No, not quite.
Okay, and what was that, John? You were saying you should have participated on the basis of just getting more followers.
No, Bobby got ahead because he did that extra one climbing that we didn't do, and this is probably the first time that I didn't participate when Edgar did, so he should be catching up close.
Beautiful. So all right, fantastic. So as she lets you out, Pania has some by the way, in her talking head, the last thing that she said it with a very straight face was, by the way, I ain't no lesbian. So that's obviously in like a rebuttal of your opinion over there, Edgar. But anyway, when she lets you out, she says, well, I guess we're all going to have to learn to trust each other. So she wants to keep the shotgun, but she has a handgun, one of those, whatever it was, a Walther whatever. She has one of those, and she has 2 survival gears that were just in her backpack. So she's willing to give those to you. So whoever's taking the gun, mark it down, and there's 2 survival, so mark those down as well.
I will take the survival.
I assume I have the gun, yeah.
I feel like Bobby had put his hand out, but it wouldn't go into his hand.
So you got it didn't get you didn't get the gun, but you did get the survival out. So you may be a little bit disappointed as you're looking down into your hand, but it wasn't completely empty. So Pena wants to share information with you, right? So while you guys are talking, the monkey's still kind of like bouncing around, and if you feel like it's serving almost like as an early warning, right? So it's kind of like jumping on top of the crates, and it's kind of looking down at you and making the occasional ooh, ooh. But you feel like it would make a lot of noise, just based on the noise it made when Pania came close and when the other people were there. You feel like it would serve as an early warning. So she wants to kind of compare notes on what you've seen and what she's seen. Since you've been on the island, right, as you guys are going to be working together. So she tells you that she was on a boat with a couple of people and they came in around here, like where I'm pinging on the screen, like in the top part of the island. She says there was a competition. She said she didn't want to take part in it. The other people, like the two people from her team, they wanted to go into a competition. She heard some screaming a couple of minutes later and some gunfire, but she was already heading kind of towards this area towards where she met up with you guys. So she doesn't explain like offhand where she got the weaponry, but she does say that she lost her teammates back there. So she then says, what about you guys?
Yeah, similar situation. We landed at the treatment and participated in a game as well. Got a couple goodies, and then we, if nobody stops me, somehow we ended up in this cage. I think the monkey had something to do with it.
Yeah, she looks at the monkey and she says, yeah, he looks like one of those kind of guys. So how much do you tell her about the contest?
I would say it's basically some sort of rugby-like game. I don't know. I was too busy chasing and playing defense, so I don't know how we actually won. But
do you tell her about the dead contestants?
Oh, I mean, yeah, we were the only ones to come out.
Yeah, she says that seems very in keeping with this island. So she asks you like, what do you guys want to do? What is your plan? She said there's been a little bit of gunfire and I've heard some people dying, but like at some point that klaxon's going to go off. What's your plan until that goes off again?
Well, we seem quite low in supplies, and there's only 4 of us, so I mean, we could head out to another location if we haven't heard any noise in that direction, and maybe find some more supplies or somewhere a little bit easier to hold up in.
So she likes the sound of that, and she says that you've all got these laminated maps, right? So she says there's some kind of emergency congregation facility, like just southeast of where you guys are at the moment. She says that's where she was like heading. Like she's just been following the land and following some noise. But she said she was thinking of either going to the airport or go into this, because she said like when a battle royale comes, she wanted to be like in the lookout tower, like the air control tower, or somewhere that's a little bit more heavily fortified. So that was kind of her plan as well, is to head to one of those areas and just kind of basically hide out and see if she can get through the battle royale.
I mean, as long as no one else has a rifle, yeah. I mean, distance that we can see for quite a ways in the flat land, and worst come to worst, we only got one door to watch. Although the redacted locations have piqued my interest. I wonder how many people have been brave enough to go there.
Might be something interesting there. And just so you both, Matt and Tim, are aware of it. So this is what he means by the redacted, if you hadn't seen them on the map already.
And it's probably far too big a distance to go to the caves, but I wonder what safe actually means.
Candace and Edgar. Oh, sorry, Bobby and Edgar. What are your thoughts?
Let's talk him more moving.
She nods and she agrees with that. Which way do you want to move in?
To the congregation facility, I guess that's where she pointed out.
Yeah.
Is that a river between them?
This thing here?
Yeah, is that a river or is that like a ridge or
that? I'm gonna let you guys decide what that is. Do you think that's a ridge or a river?
I'm thinking it's a river.
Yeah, I would
I thought
agree.
it was a ridge. But,
Oh,
okay.
So, I mean, we could go to... Now, there was only the landing on the water treatment, the canal, or down at Business Park. We could hope that water treatment is still safe and double back that way, because we could take that road across the river and go down. Or, I suppose we could potentially go Congregation and then double back to Airport, but I don't know. If we want an easier trip, probably should go back water treatment way. Or what I assume would be an easier trip.
you're
Can we ask
assuming
her
that
if she saw where the other guys went? Sorry.
No, you can ask her. She didn't see. She came along like however long after you guys have been locked in there, like 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, but she didn't see Quincy or the people Quincy was with.
Well, that seems to mean that they did not go north of the canal, so they may have gone. We're probably going to run into them, if that's the case, down to Congregational or Airport. So, that'll be fun.
Let's talk him or Dewey. Bob's just going to start walking off towards the emergency congregation place. We go.
I try to hustle because I know how fast you can move.
Candace, what are your thoughts? You're the sorry, Edgar. You're the only one we haven't heard from.
Yeah, I mean that's that's fine by me. I'll follow them towards the congregation facility.
All right, perfect. So, as you're kind of heading down, you actually there's a couple of you see a couple of vehicles that are off the road, right? So there doesn't appear to be anyone in them, but you see a Jeep and you see, some kind of like almost troop transport type truck, right? So they're just on one of these roads in front of you. And again, like you don't see, you see them at a distance, but you don't see anyone in them or any of like you don't see any activity or any movement around them. Penia wants to go. She says, "Hey, people will be able to hear us, but at least we'll have a little bit of an option to get away from people if anyone wants to trap us." So she starts moving towards one of the Jeeps. Are you going to go with her? Are you going to try and talk her out of it? What is your plan?
I don't disagree as long as they work, and if they don't, we could always see if we can siphon some of the gas out if we've got containers. Assuming there's gas in the tank.
Edgar and Candace, any objections?
No.
So Penia walks over. I'm sorry, Edgar, were you saying something?
No objection.
Okay, perfect. So Penia walks over. She walks over to the Jeep. You hear her make a little startled noise. And then she kind of, unless any of you are with her, you see her pulling a dead body out of the driver's seat, right? So she hadn't expected to see anyone in there, but as she got around to the driver's side of the Jeep, there was a dead body in there. You hear her start the engine up. And by the way, are any of you like with her getting this, or are you just waiting for her to do it?
No, I'd go with her. Is it dead in one of our suits like we're wearing, or dead wearing something else?
Yeah, it's in one of the it's in a different uniform, not the same as you guys, but it's so obviously a Deathmatch Island uniform, right? They have a contestant number of on their things. So they have a bullet wound, right? So there's they caught one in the neck. So she can pull them out of the Jeep. It's a him. She can pull him out of the Jeep. There are blood stains in the Jeep, and it's a little bit distasteful, but the Jeep seems to be working okay. So with you and Panya in it, she, U-turns and comes back to pick up Edgar and Bobby.
While we're doing that, I'm looking around. Is there bullet holes in any of the glass, or the windows broken?
Yeah, it feels like this Jeep had been in a gunfight, right? So, the driver evidently caught a stray, but it does feel like there's bullet holes all over. None of them caught the tires, thankfully, and the engine doesn't seem to be ineffective, but there are maybe 6 to 8 bullet holes that you see.
Okay. Well, if whoever it is drove this way, they're probably running away from. I'm assuming it's pointed away from congregation towards the research.
You know, it's slightly off the road, so I'm going to say it's actually its nose is pointing southwest. So the nose of this is kind of pointing towards the airport. It doesn't mean that's the direction it was going in. It just means it was going from east to west along this road that I'm pinging now. So east to west along here, and then came off and like was facing down. This is like its final like direction where I'm pointing now. That makes sense?
Yeah. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Is it still going to airport or what? Because this person got shot at, I'd hate to see the direction they came from. Although now we have a truck, so we could basically go anywhere, right?
Correct. And the Jeep as well, right? I mean, all four of you can get into the Jeep.
Yeah. Man, if we got a Jeep, I say heck with it. Let's go find out what that redacted place is.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough question. Probably going ahead. Yeah, I agree. Not a great option. Going back. Can't
Because I'm
cross
just
the
thinking
river.
that
Yeah,
further inland, we can get on in a vehicle versus everybody else hoofing it. We got a better chance of finding fresh areas.
yeah, and if nothing else, just going to some place where no one else is. Yeah, I don't really know. Tumnus? Hey, Tumnus, what do you think?
Make steering wheel gestures and points who can drive.
No,
Go.
I can drive if Pania doesn't.
Yeah, stop being racist. Of course the black woman can drive. God damn it.
Thank you for being the voice of reason there, Tim. I didn't want to have to do it, but I appreciate
Of course
that.
you can. Of course you can.
She's actually the one that got the car and brought it back to you, so she proved that she can drive, yes.
If she wants to, that's what I was getting. If she wants to, that's fine.
Yeah.
I would hop in, I guess.
Oh, that's so tough. Like you got the river ridge to the west, and then I mean
Let's go out to the caves.
east to the volcano. I really think like maybe just like we leave the road and drive south still to the congregation and just see if we can get a good position and get down there and see what's up.
That's fine. Yeah, let's start there.
As soon as we start up, though, we're the noisiest thing on the island, though, right?
You might be the noisiest thing
fast.
in the local vicinity, but again, like this is like the Shetland Islands, Matt, right? So like, you know, the wind's whipping around you and this is subpolar and it's kind of like cold and nasty. So yeah, people would absolutely hear the sound of the Jeep moving around, but
Well, Bobby points at his map and points at the caves. If we've got a way to travel there quickly, and it says safe, right? And Bobby's happy in the sort of hilly regions anyway.
I'd be for that as long as there's a roadway. I think the quarry is probably going to be occupied, so if we're going to go, we should probably go around the south side of the volcano, which would take us to Congregation anyways.
Yep.
That's just my 2 cents.
so Pania says she likes the idea of getting to the caves, right? Now that you have a vehicle, because it is marked as safe. So she's not entirely sure what's over there or what that means, but that would be her choice.
We're just taking the Jeep, or are we taking the truck as well?
It's not like she has a huge, like, a dog in this fight. All four of you can get into the Jeep, so she doesn't know why anyone would try and take the other one, you know?
Okay, if we're not taking the truck, I suggest we blow one of those tires. If maybe 2 of them.
Yeah.
And go for the caves, yeah. If that's the thing, yeah. Do that if she's got a good route in mind, and fuck, she's got all the weapons.
Is there anything in the truck?
Yeah.
No, nothing useful, like in the truck itself. Like it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to imagine if the truck and the Jeep have been left in and there's a dead body, somebody killed it and they probably took anything that was useful inside of the truck with them.
I'll ask Pena if she's gotten a chance to use that shotgun yet, and if she says no, I'd ask her if she'd like to do the honors of blowing the tires on the truck.
So she says, even better than that, and she pulls out a knife. She says, like, she hasn't shown this to you until now, but she has a survival knife, and she says, I'm going to keep the ammo. So she goes over. She's very happy to, put a good few pumps into, like, 2 or 3 of the tires so that thing's never going anywhere.
That sounds dangerous. I've seen enough of those videos.
Wait, what do you mean? Would that blow up in her face?
Oh, yeah, absolutely can.
Really?
Especially if it's a transport truck with that high of PSI in the tires. I wouldn't want to stab it.
So she said, are you giving her that advice, Candace, or is that just John metagaming?
That's John talking out loud, but if she's gonna pull out a knife, Candace ain't gonna stop her.
Well, she gets lucky. She puts a few holes into the tires and doesn't get blown off her feet while that's going on. So you see the truck sag and droop down a little bit, and again, there's nothing inside of the truck. She does another swoop of it. So she comes back. You guys have got the Jeep. You have started it, so she's kind of getting not exactly anxious, but she's like, hey, so like if anyone's heard this, they're probably heading our way. If we're going to move, we should get a move on. Where are you guys going?
I would like the route to the caves. If we happen to stop through Congregation or whatever this reactor is on the way, I think it would be worth it taking a cursory glance to see if it's been touched or not.
Yep.
You want to do that as well? You're going to go over to the take the southern route. I'm pinging it on the map at the moment, but you're going to take this kind of southern route and try and avoid the congregation center and head through as much as you can. Like take these roads that I can see in here and take the coastal route around to the caves. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm hesitant to go to Congregation, but I would definitely stop at Reactor.
Yeah.
All right, so your drive is the first couple of minutes. Let's say for the sake of argument, you're here where I'm pinging now. So the first 5-10 minutes or whatever, as you're heading down here, you don't see anyone, right? And then as you're heading down here, you've seen Congregation on the other side of it, but there is a ridge here, right? As you guys are driving through here and heading down this road, you hear gunfire coming from Congregation, right? So she, unless one of you have taken over, she is driving and she has got, ain't nobody got time for this shit, right? So she speeds up and starts heading down this road away from Congregation. Again, you were behind this ridge when you heard the gunfire going off, so you don't really know what happened, but it gives you the impression someone's over there at Congregation.
I will just be grateful that we didn't go that way.
I think you'll all be glad about that. So, all right, beautiful. So the rest of the drive is uneventful as you start to get towards the reactor facility. This is on the shores of a frozen black lake. It's got a sign. It's called the Brutalist Reactor Facility. It's an 8-story concrete ziggurat. And I'm presuming based on what you said, you're actually approaching the facility, like getting closer and closer to it. Is that fair?
Yeah, because we've got the crossroads. I can't imagine it's going to be that long of a drive just to stop in quick.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's another route out perpendicular, so...
Correct. You'd be able to circle by this. But as you're approaching the building, a speaker, as we've discussed, there are speakers all around the island. So one of these crackles to life, and there's the feedback you've gotten used to hearing, the kind of... And then the voice that comes on and speaks it's so garbled, right? It's barely comprehensible, but you can tell they're warning you to get away, right? The words that you pick out from this, it says you hear like reactor, you hear do not approach, you hear under the threat of death. Like there's enough, even though it's very garbled, there's enough here that as you start to approach the building, it becomes apparent that somebody doesn't want you to approach the building.
Does it sound like the same kind of voice that we heard initially, like the same announcer
Correct.
telling us? Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Why the hell are they marking this shit on here? That makes me think that the caves aren't going to be any better. Although it does have a marking of safe on it, so does that mean it's a restricted area? Oh, boy. Maybe what we can do is go to the caves anyways, and if that doesn't work out, we can work our way up the mountain to the volcano.
You mean listen to the voice? I'm sorry, say that again, Edgar.
Or just hang around the caves, because if people get the warning at reactor, why would they come to caves?
Edgar and Bobby, what are your thoughts?
Bobby just wants to get somewhere.
I mean, we drove all the way here. They're telling us not to go here. That seems like a sign to maybe like this is the place to be. It's telling people with weak minds like you, no offense, that this is really like where we need to be. Yeah.
Well, my only argument is that there's the word safe next to caves. And if we're going to do it, I feel like the best way to break my weak mind would be at the caves, just in case.
It's a long drive from here.
That's less than from zoology.
People are already fighting. This might be the place to be. I really think that we should at least take a bit of a look.
Inside of reactor facility versus the emergency congregation facility, correct?
Yeah, correct.
So Pania, she agrees with your logic. She doesn't really want to go in there, but she says, like, you know, the ugly one's right? The one with the crush on lesbians is right. Like we're already here. If they're telling us not to go inside, there's something inside that we should probably check out.
I'll go along, but I'm not going in first.
I'll go.
Yeah. Let's Tumnus. Swiftfoot. Go inside. See what's up.
Bobby cracks his knuckles and then starts just strolling off to.
If you can dodge a goat, you can dodge a bullet.
Yeah. His eyes are peeled, but he's just walking casual.
That's Bobby through and through. So what do you? So the facility here, and again, let me read it to you. So it's an 8-story concrete ziggurat, right? Do you remember from ancient history what a ziggurat is?
No, but I looked it up and saw a photo, so I'm good.
Okay, yeah.
Like the Aztecs and people used to use it. So this thing's in front of you. A small door sits at the base. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. I'm in your wrong facility. The wrong.
Fail.
I know.
Fail.
So as you're standing there, so again, like the recording is repeating as you're standing there looking at this building. And your impressions of it? There's this is on the outside. Damn concrete and green algae. Excuse me. Yeah, that's every other description for inside. So, damn concrete and green algae.
Just going to stroll out. I'm not going to walk right in front of the doorway, but I'm going to walk to the side and keep going until something says otherwise.
There are speakers all the way
Never
around
heard us before.
Say that
Okay.
again.
Words never hurt us before, so I'm just going to approach it straight on.
They never hurt us, but they fail us all the time.
Yeah, well, we can't even use weapons right, so screw it. I mean,
So, Bobby, you're moving around the side. There is a door at the front, but again, this is a big 8-story facility, so there's a couple of different ways in that you can probably see. So, how are you approaching it?
are there any emergency doors that are higher up than like escape doors?
No,
You
they're
pick
all on the
those
ground
other
floor.
than the front door. Okay. You just pick one that doesn't look like barred or fortified in any way and just keep strolling towards it.
There is what looks like a roller gate, right? So you see, like a garage gate, right? Something you could roll up and a truck could come in and out. And it looks like, there's your basic inspection of it from a way away. It looks like there may be a few inches between that and the ground. So that might be something you can push up further. It may not be locked, but it's something that you can see from as you start to circle the building, as you're ignoring this speaker overhead that keeps threatening you. You look at this roller gate, and Bobby, you think that maybe you could either climb under it or get it open.
Sounds like a plan. Does the message just keep repeating? Is
Yeah.
it the same message? Is it
Yeah.
automated?
Yeah, and it's not a live broadcast, right? It is somebody that's just repeating this over and over.
Yep. Okay. Let's approach.
So Bobby's going in towards this garage. What are you other two doing?
Well, I guess I'm going to indulge my motivation card and start talking to Pania and ask her if she's got any kids or if she's married.
I love this because, as a GM, I don't think I even saw you. I handed it out, but I don't think I saw your motivation card. What was it? Can you share it with us?
It says connection. You're missing emotional connection in your life, and whether consciously or subconsciously, this is a place you can find it.
So,
Oh boy.
I love that. I love how he's leaning into this weirdness. All right, so you're talking to her and you're trying to make an emotional connection. You feel that she's putting up a wall, and at one point she makes a comment about, hey, I already lost people to this island. I appreciate you being friendly and all, but I don't really want to make a connection with anyone that's going to be, dead in the next battle royale.
Well, I mean, looking at where we are, if it's going to be dead, it's probably going to be at your hands anyway, so... If push comes to shove, assuming.
All right, so are you guys... What are you doing to get entry to the building?
Well, I'm looking at Bobby, saying he's not dead yet.
They're just waiting for me to get in there, I think.
I'm assuming we could probably drive a little closer.
You're already like within walking distance, right? I mean, you were 10, 12 foot away when the speaker started going off, right? So this is really like a proximity thing. Sorry if I wasn't clear.
Oh, okay. I thought we were a little further out, but okay. I'll stay to my word. Bobby's already kind of in there. I guess I'll hop out and follow in his footsteps. I'll come along. I just won't go first.
So Pania comes with you. So at this point, Edgar, I'm not sure if you're going with them or keeping guard by the Jeep, but three of you are by this roller door. You realize if when you start pushing on it, it doesn't feel like it's secured. You feel like you could push this open and get entry to the building.
I have a last minute thought, and I run and I grab the keys out of the Jeep if they have them.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to pop the hood and prop it up. And then I'll come back to the group.
I'm curious, to what outcome?
We'll take the key so no one can actually try to drive it away, and I don't know, maybe a little deception if the hood's up makes it look like somebody was already trying to tinker with it, and it's still sitting there.
I love it. So as you get back with the keys, can someone walk me through talking head if you want, or describe how you're getting entry to the building? Who's doing what and what's happening?
Bob's just going to walk up to the roller door, see if he can squeeze underneath. Well, I'll have a look first, obviously, and then squeeze underneath.
Yeah, so you can squeeze under there, and it kind of, as you're getting under, if you push it, this thing moves up, right? So as Bobby's getting under there, Bobby, you notice how humid it is inside, right? And it feels like there's like some kind of static buzz in the air, but you don't hear any other. You don't hear any noise or anything from inside except for this weird background buzz. However, those of you that are outside, you hear the noise of another vehicle heading your way. So it's heading down. It's heading up. It's coming from. Oh, I'm pointing at the wrong map. So it's kind of heading up on this road towards you, but it's moving at a good speed. So it's a white van that's coming your way, and it looks like it's got some kind of official logo that's painted on the side of the van as well. So what are you guys doing in response to that?
Either this is the warning coming true and it's members of the game coming to take care of us now, or someone else found their own van. Was there any markings on the Jeep or the transport truck?
No.
Oh. Yeah, that leads me to believe that maybe the game's coming to get us now at this point. So I think we either hop in the Jeep and hope they stop charging us, or hurry up and get inside.
You would be very hard pressed to get back to the Jeep before they got to you at this point, right? So even if Bobby could get out, got up and ran to it, you'd get there within like seconds of that van getting to you, right? So if these people are coming for you, and again, you've been warned not to go into this building, so if these people are coming for you, it's unlikely you could get into the Jeep before they reached you.
I was initially going to Indiana Jones roll to make Pania laugh. Now I'm doing it out of desperation.
So she looks at you and she looks at Bobby under there and she's like, I'm going with him, right? So she kind of like just like she's crawling under the net in a like an assault course. She goes belly down and she just scuttles past Bobby and gets inside of this cigarette. What are Candace and Edgar up to?
Booking it.
I'll head back to the Jeep. I'm not going to get in the Jeep. I'm going to like dive underneath it and hide and just have an outside perspective.
So they see you moving towards the Jeep from where they are. So, you're not going to, it feels unlikely from the whole, like where they are, where you are on the road, where they are on the road, where the Jeep is. It feels very unlikely to you, Edgar, that you would be able to get to the Jeep and hide before they pulled up. So if these people are here as a result of that warning you've been hearing, you getting to the Jeep and scuttling underneath it, you're probably just effectively surrendering to them. Does that make sense?
Okay. All right, then yeah, inside the building with the rest.
So, who's the last person going in? Is that you or is that Candace?
Probably if I went and grabbed keys, then probably me.
Probably Edgar if he double checked, yeah.
All right, so let me just look something up. All right, so as you're kind of like all getting under this rolling gate, 4 people get out from this van, and they're wearing like proper chemical biohazard radiation suits, like what are they called, CBRN or whatever the acronym is, right? So these people get out. They're in orange bodysuits. and they're shouting at you. They're waving guns, and they're shouting at you to get away from that building. So they're kind of coming towards you as you guys all move inside of the building. So I'm assuming that you're going to let the rolling gate that you've got, you're going to let that come down or slam and try and secure it in place? Or what let me not put words in your mouth. What are you, these people are coming towards you. They're, 45 seconds to a minute away at the speed they're moving. Again, in, tactical sort of like in orange suits with like this chemical biohazard bullshit. And they're coming towards you. What are you guys doing?
Oh, if they're popping out in hazmat suits, I'm 100% second guessing this, thinking that I'm bouncing back and forth. They're either going to shoot us or they're actually trying to help us.
You think I love your enthusiasm or your optimism. You think these might be here to help you?
No, yeah. The fact that they came out in hazmat suits and not plate armor. That's why I'm second guessing Edgar's thought of this is exactly where we need to be because they're telling us not to go there, but they're coming out in hazmat suits. So I'm thinking, oh crap, maybe this isn't the place to be. So I'm indecisive at the moment.
Pania just wants to get into the building. She's kind of like, why are you guys like hanging out here? What are you doing? She wants to like throw that, she says like, you saw them guys, they had guns and they were shouting at us and they're coming this way. We got to go. We got to move. We got to see if we can hide or find another way out of this building. So she wants to go further inside of the building. And by the way, again, like it's, it's humid and hot inside of this place. There's vast, empty, echoing spaces right inside of this building. So this is, again, an 8-story building. It's absolutely huge. She wants you guys to go in and see if you can hide or find something to get away. What are you guys up to?
Well, if she's got that angry wife energy, I'm assuming I'm going to snap back to old habits and follow. Being the stay-at-home dad.
I love that about you. Edgar or Bobby, any thoughts?
I don't think Bobby's even noticed that anyone's behind. He's just waltzing in, and then when she came blitzing past, he's like trying to catch up.
Yeah, just go ahead and follow. That's the course here. Yeah.
All right, so these guys. So we're going to move to another challenge, right? So this is an incident response unit, right? So the warnings you got from the WhatsApp, they weren't messing around, right? So they have sent out the voice on the speaker have dispatched someone to your location. So this van has turned up, and you've got 4 members of this incident response unit. They're carrying assault weapons. They're trying to come inside and get you, right? So what we will do is we will move to a check here. Excuse me, because that will help us decide how this plays out and what the story is, right? So this is a redacted contest, right? Because of the nature of the place, and that's how, again, like it's such a good game. This is how it works. This is the incident response unit. So let me go to Island 2 and roll the target level for this. All right. So this is restricted, and these guys are dangerous. All right. What do we get? Oh, yeah.
I had a feeling.
All right. So going back to how a challenge unfolds, right? So you guys are in a game of cat and mouse inside this large building with these guys that are heavily armed that are coming to get you. More heavily armed than you. They've got assault rifles, and one of you thinks you saw pistols on their belt. Maybe they've even got grenades. So you guys are inside of this building. Edgar, you were whoever rolls highest in the challenges becomes the leader for the next challenge. So you get to decide on the approach and the goal you guys are going to take. So what are you guys doing to defend yourself or to make sure you don't get killed or captured? What is the goal here?
I think scatter and hide is the. I mean, we don't have many firearms. Yeah, scatter, hide, maybe group up in twos and ambush tactics here. But yeah, just fucking get into this building and make them find you. So yeah, go ahead. Good luck.
I love it. All right, so I think the hiding and ambushing, and I can see if you're talking about hanging out in twos, you and Candice, this building's in a state of decrepit disrepair, so you can find like a sink and a toilet that you could drag to, like there's an internal, like not a balcony, but like there's an internal atrium area. So I can kind of see two of you throwing like sinks over the edge to try and land on like that kind of fighting back. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she is in a support role. So like who's, because you're all going to roll, but you said breaking off into twos. So who's paired with who?
I can make it easy and default to following the lady who's yelling at me to get moving.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually kind of makes sense, right? Yeah.
If I've fallen into that, yeah.
Yeah, and she's not a lesbian, so she has no interest in you, Edgar. She's not like, your charm's like falling off her, like water off her lesbian's bag.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so the competitors are announced, right? So the target number is 11. So I'll go first. So it comes up, as a picture of Pania comes up as we announce the competitors. It comes up with like that text that goes from left to right and kind of unfolds like military text, the way they do that on reality shows. So it comes up and says, her name is Pania, her age is 31, she's a call center worker. This is her second appearance on Deathmatch Island, total body count 4. So that's the description from her. So over to you, Bobby. How are you being described? Like, is it a talking head from you or from the host or a Chiron or what's going on?
It just goes to a picture of him looking confused, and this isn't Bobby's voiceover saying this isn't Bobby's natural environment, and he's just running down one corridor, opening a door, running out, and then coming back through the same door and running back down the same corridor.
I feel like it's like a David Attenborough voice, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
See the cornered goat herder as he runs through the corridors like a headless chicken. Yeah, so I agree. I kind of like that, and I think that this person would also, just given the nature of the show, like they're not being particularly sympathetic. There's almost like a darkness in their voice as they take pleasure in describing how Bobby's running around like a rat in a maze. Candice, over to you. How are you being introduced? How is your announcement?
Watch as he runs, confused, scared, and on autopilot as Pinea yells at him, telling him which way to go here, do this. And just right on the spot, boom, boom, boom. Following orders as he does.
Perfect. Candice, what about you? Sorry, Edgar, what about you?
Typical Edgar style. There's a cut scene of Edgar pissing in a urinal, and it just says body count, and he turns around and smiles at the camera.
I like that turn and smile to the camera. That like absolute class act, Edgar. Class act. All right, so let's have you guys roll. Again, target number's going to be 11. Let's start with Candice because it's Candice and Pania. So Pania is going to pass a comparability of her capability dice. Let me just look that up on the in the journal. Hold on 1 second. Okay, you will get a D8. That actually works in your favor. You get another D8.
Oh, for advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, so because she's supporting you, right? So you get to pass that. So,
which is good because I don't think the stay-at-home parent's going to work.
Yeah, I think that playing hide and seek with your kids, I would allow you to use your occupation die for sure. I'd let you use your name die, and then the capability die is redacted.
Same capability,
and you get a D8 from. What's her face?
Well, no, because the main role is redacted, right?
But you get correct. Correct. But you get. Wait, maybe I misunderstood you. What were you saying there, John?
Because the initial role was redacted, you had said, so the capability would be some other dice. That makes sense.
I feel like I'm misunderstanding you. The capability would still be like redacted is one of the game types, right?
Yeah, and I click that first, and then it says add another capability. I don't.
Isn't that the secondary one?
Yeah, that's the one from her. I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because hers will be like an advantage die or something.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying you want to spend a fatigue in order to pick either social game, challenge, snake mode, challenge beast, or deathmatch?
Yeah, I don't think I can justify any of those, really.
Deathmatch, you're kidding me, right?
Oh, well, I mean, I thought we were hiding, but yeah.
Oh, no, maybe you missed that. I thought it was hiding and ambushing. Like we talked about, someone throwing a sink over the edge of a balcony to hit the people below.
Yeah.
Right, so support from
she's
her.
going to kill these bitches, yeah.
D8.
Yep.
And then I don't really have an exhibition that work unless we're going to start tarping people.
Well, you've got that survival kit. So, and mate, again, you're going to have to narrate this. But that would include a rope and stuff. So is there any reason that you couldn't do some kind of Tarzan swing and kick someone off a balcony?
Absolutely.
Oh, man, you succeeded. You are awesome.
Somehow.
All right, beautiful. So Tim and, Edgar and Bobby, let's have you both make rolls.
Okay. So we're doing this, and this is deathmatch, yeah?
If you're roll, like it's redacted is the contest type, right? But if you're going to spend the fatigue like he did to get another capability dice, that would be deathmatch.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, I'm going. This is the one that just allows you to do 2 for the one there, and you just take the better one, right?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
You're not going to add these 2 together. You're just going to take the better one of the 2 die rolls.
Correct.
If you take the other capability.
Because I technically rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice.
Wow. No other advantage. Is there anything in this place we can use as an advantage? I was thinking of getting into the ducts and then dropping down.
So the way,
like a nimble, but
nothing else that would give you an advantage, which is I think what you're asking, right? So, excuse me, you will get to narrate how you got into the air ducts and did whatever you did based on the roll. So it's one of those almost like recursive dice rolls where if you're successful, you get to say whatever you did. If you're not successful, it failed. Oh, look at that! Bobby succeeded as well. This is beautiful.
Lucky in.
Edgar, it's over to you.
Yeah, I'll. What is it? What do I get when I burn a trust? I'll spend a trust with Bobby. I'll try to get him up into the position that he needs.
Excuse me. So you can spend trust to get a copy of an ally's name die. And because what's his face has a nickname, you'd be getting a D8 if you do that.
D8, okay.
Right, Bobby, you have a nickname and a D8, correct? Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That is fantastic.
Okay.
So
beautiful.
I actually thought this was going to go horribly wrong, but this is so we have to narrate this now to figure out. We have to kind of like talk through what happened, right? And so we do the confessionals. So, before we forget, let's do the followers. So, who got the highest? So, Candice, you get 11 boxes.
All right, so that's going to tick me over 4,000. So I have to unbox these.
Correct.
Pick them up again.
Click on the 4,000, but 400,000. I think it unboxes them for you.
Yeah, and then I'll start unboxing them. Yeah, so that goes
beautiful.
It goes. Poof.
Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
just talk about your boxes too much.
Yeah. Oh, matron. All right, so you now have how many? You got that 400k box. We have to give him a nickname. So,
Do you want me to narrate first before you get that?
Oh, Candy.
Yeah.
Candy Cane? Candy Cane gets a nickname?
Yeah.
So I just picture Panea is just pointing, go here, do this, do that, and we get into like a two-way doorway. So it's like go into one doorway, turn the corner, go into another one. And she's like, take the rope from the thing, tie up the tarp to make a little curtain thing so that it obscures the vision. And grab that lantern, get that thing started, and as soon as you see him, chuck it right at him. So I huck the lantern at the one guy. His suit starts melting to him, but he's not down. He's just a little slowed down, and then I book it through the little tarp curtain as the one guy tries to take a shot at me, and I dive down, and Panea's ready. And as soon as that tarp starts to move, she just unloads that shotgun at the one guy going through the tarp, and then I just grab whatever I can find in the other room, and I keep poking my head out. Where's the guy? Oh, he's on the ground. He's in bed. Go get him. And I try to pick up the rifle, take shots. It shoots all around him until Panea comes out and just finishes him off with a shotgun.
That was beautiful. That was fucking poetry. What is his nickname, gentlemen? Based on that, or based on his overarching, or his story arc throughout all of this, what do you think is an appropriate nickname for him?
Candy bitch. He just does everything he's told.
Candy bitch.
Did you say candy or handy?
First time he succeeded in doing anything, and he's just done as he's told. It's great.
All right, so what are we going with? What is that suggestion for Candice? Candy bitch, are we happy with that?
Fine by me.
Beautiful. Get it on that character sheet. And then next highest, so we actually start at the bottom. So Bobby, you get 6, you round up. So you get 6 more boxes. Does that change anything for your followers?
No, we all got ages to go yet,
Okay.
right? Because we got to fill in everything else.
Hey, so why don't you tell us what you did when you said you were climbing in and out of the air ducts? Like, how did you handle dealing with these?
I think our cut screen would be together, right? And the first part of it is Bobby looking super confident and just saying, follow me to Edgar. And he takes him down all these corridors and he's just looking around, but he keeps backtracking and Edgar's getting more and more irate and wondering what the hell's going on. And Bobby goes through another door, which is where they've been before, and Edgar's about to lose it. He opens the door to have a go at Bobby, and Bobby's not there, and he's like, what the hell? And then you just see a arm come out of the ceiling with a finger saying, come up here, and he lifts him up. And for the next couple of seconds, you see them with a narrator saying that they're evading capture by using the air ducts. And then as it pans out, Bobby's doing his finger to his lips going shh to Edgar, and he moves him up to the air vent to alongside him. And we're now behind 2 of the guys in hazmat suits with rifles in the air vents, and we can just pop out and surprise them. And then it'll cut over to Edgar's bit.
Edgar, I love that. I'm really enjoying this the way that you guys have to narrate this. Edgar, you get 6 new boxes for followers. Does that change? You get a nickname? Does that change it for you?
Yeah, that'll get me a nickname.
Oh, I love it. Well, why don't you narrate your contribution to what Bobby was just saying, and then we can figure out what your nickname is.
Yeah, all of that happens, and the cameras are following people around, and Edgar just like pops up behind someone with an assault rifle creeping around, and Edgar's like talking to the camera, not even looking at the person before he disappears back inside a panel and just is saying like, where the fuck is everybody? I don't know. And then there's a CGI of just like this screaming eagle, and Edgar smiles and disappears inside an air vent.
I freaking love it. So the final word in all of this goes to Pania. So you guys all do your talking heads, and then it cuts to her, and she looks very unimpressed. And there's a few seconds of silence, and she says, "These guys, they were all beep, 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 useless." So whatever she said, like all of it is just like completely blotted out because it can't be broadcast anywhere. And then it cuts back to you guys. So you have they had
Edgar needs a nickname.
Oh, Edgar, what is your nickname? How about useless?
Edgar
power?
needs a fucking nickname.
What is Edgar's? Edgar, do you have a suggestion? What is your nickname?
I'm not gonna suggest shit. Give it to me.
Bobby and Candice, what are your thoughts?
Oh boy. God, it feels like it's something related to Rambo at this point. Jeez.
I was going to say Killmonger or
There we go.
Lesbo Lover, one or the other.
I like
Kind of the same in
Killmonger.
your world, yeah.
All right. So, what was your not Lesbo Lover? What was the other suggestion there, Candice?
Oh, something with Rambo, but Killmonger works.
I kind of like the Butcher. That's just because that's what I've been calling. I feel like that's what Tim does in every game that we play. He's so
It does feel like that.
he's way more classy than a murder hobo, but he does murder hobo with class. That's probably an accurate description. So actually, maybe murder hobo. Maybe that's not a bad name for him. Edgar, the final word goes to you. What do you want your nickname to be?
Shit. I'll take the Butcher. That's very on the nose. Let's go on the nose here.
Yeah, so there's almost as you guys agree to that, there's a freeze screen and it says the Butcher and it says Edgar Powers, office manager, number of times played, 1, death count, and then it's got probably 11 or whatever you've killed by this point, and then the Butcher. So that's a lovely nickname for you there, Edgar, worth a beautiful D8. All right, so you also get from these guys. Each of them was carrying a FAMAS assault rifle. So each of you gets to mark that on your character sheet, the FAMAS or the FAMAS. There was also one tier 2 redacted acquisition for you. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Excuse me, but if you look on the character sheet, there's 1 and 2, so you get a tier 2. There's also one tier 3 redacted acquisition. So again, you'll be able to spend these to get better dice in future rolls. Like, these are... I'll explain what they are in a second. I'll come back to that. But who's going to take the tier 3 one?
Oh, I'll just leave it to the Butcher. One of the other guys.
They're just like undefined things that you can just spend for extra dice.
Correct. And you're kind of getting... So we're heading... Like, there's redacted stuff because you're not supposed to know about it as competitors, right? And so on that vein, let me change the map. Because I think I can... Yeah, here we go. Choose side. If you look at the map now, I think... something's changed, but I was zoomed in too close to see it. You can now see the classified version of the map because there was a classified map on them. And these redacted things, there's something going on here and you don't know what it is. You've been told to keep away from this area that you're in. So redacted acquisitions are things that tie into what's really going on the island, right? So for the sake of argument... one of the redacted things, the one you found, like you've all found a bunch of maps and blueprints and personnel files for players in the game, right? And, you know, Candice, because you got the highest score. One of the player contestant sheets inside of this redacted folder you've got, you recognize them as one of the people that you were playing against in the football team, right? Or even better, it's the driver of the Jeep, what's the face pulled out, Penny pulled out. Like, as you're going through, she says, oh my God, like this was the guy that was in the Jeep. What does all this mean? So the redacted stuff, again, like there's this nebulous aspect of the game of like, you guys have to determine what's really going on this island. This was your first exposure to the redacted stuff because you went to a redacted site. So you found a bunch of stuff that you're not really sure what's going on. But there are obviously files on all of the competitors, including where you were picked up, your last known location in the real world, your job, your last year's salary, all the people. Like, this is a really complete dossier that you have found on different people. So those are the redacted items that you picked up that you will be able to use to get dice rolls later. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it's hard to believe that a regular footman would have all those, but I'll take it.
Yeah, so these were actually in the building. So these weren't these are, as you've been wandering around inside, you found a bunch of derelict rooms. Sorry, I should have read this to you earlier. You found a bunch of derelict rooms filled with mist and overgrown tropical plants. You found a couple of huge control rooms, vast banks of decades-old switches, dials, and status lights, strange large spheres of riveted steel trailing umbilical wires and cables, a dot matrix printer slowly but implacably filling a room with a pile of paper. It all seems to be astronomical coordinates, and a room filled with slugs. Millions of... I can't believe I didn't read this shit to you while you were looking around. Millions of slugs on the furniture, floors, walls, and ceilings. So in amongst this place, you found all these boxes. And again, all these boxes, this is why they were trying to keep you out of here. And also these huge computer banks or these huge control rooms. There's a bunch of screens in here, and you don't really know what these cameras are pointing to, but you can see other competitors moving around. So you don't know which of the sites on the map. It could be the hallway complex to the south, it could be the business park, but you can see other competitors moving around. So inside of this room, that's what you found is, again, like more nebulous clues that can help you tell the story of how you all ended up on the boat on this island. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, so as far as the map goes, I think the only thing I know, because I was zoomed in too, I think it was just the number 10 area that popped up.
Let me zoom out so I can change it back and forth, because again, I wasn't paying attention. No, I wasn't paying attention, but I was looking at something else. So let me choose.
I don't know if I thought I saw those bars pop in.
All right, I'm going to change it back.
Yep, okay. All right. I have an extra thought when we're ready to leave, but I'm gonna look at the cameras and see if I can start recognizing, maybe not the areas they're from, but start recognizing group sizes of people that are around on the cameras.
So
see if I can start putting faces to group size.
Yeah. So you see maybe. Let's assume you spend some time while other people are looking around. You're spending, based on what you just said, you spend some time studying the screens and looking around. So you do see there are maybe 30 people that you see, right? And you can't be sure that, one or two of them, some of them really stand out. There's a guy who looks like Carrot Top, and, there's, I don't know, there's like, you think of a half dozen people that would be very memorable, starting with Carrot Top. You see a bunch of people that stand out that you're like, oh, there's that fucking guy again, or there's that lady again, right? And so you see a bunch of them, but like by your guess, there's probably 30 people, and they're spread over maybe 4 or 5 locations. So in one of them, which you'll probably guess it could be the quarry just based on the outdoor nature of it, there's one person wandering there on their own. Somewhere else that looks probably like the airport to you, you see 5 or 6 people, right? And they're dressed in different outfits. So they're either working together or they're about to come into conflict with each other if they see each other. So you can make up whatever other details you would like to for this.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was just looking for later when the klaxon goes off that if I recognize somebody who stands out. I can take a guess they probably got 2 or 3 more. That person's got 5 more. That's all I was looking for.
Yeah, so because you've got because this is now popped up, you don't see anyone down here by this emergency ammunitions cache, right? And something else that also stands out almost by its lack is you don't see any cameras pointing towards the caves, right? So you got no idea what the caves are. Again, it says safe, but you got no idea what's happening over here. But this looks fairly quiet, right? But, again, based on what you've seen, it feels like there's people here. Feels like there might be people over here, but you don't know what this really looks like. But again, like it feels like this is super quiet. Might be the only place you didn't see anyone, and you can't see anything from the caves. What's next?
I'll let others go first.
Are we able to see if anyone, if we now know of a new place and we want to go there, are we in any way able to figure out which one of the cameras is looking at the hallway complex and figure out if there are people there, or in the mental acuity place, which I assume is a bit easier to figure out, because we're going to have to drive past those to get there, right?
Say that to me again, Matt.
I would argue just go to the cave since there's nothing over there.
Yeah, could do. But then, oh well, we have weapons now, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if anybody showing up is going to be greeted the same way we were, I can only imagine, 1, we should be able to do it again, and 2, how many of these people are going to press in like we did.
In which case, figure out who's at the quarry from the cameras so that we know which way people are coming from, volcano or quarry.
Because we now also have another van that is marked that people would be scared of.
You also have some of these outfits that you could put on, so you look a little bit more official.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Dress up as them.
Oh yeah, no, totally taking their hazmat suits and popping out of the van just like they did. I can only imagine just that visual scaring whoever's on their way. So even we may not even have to fight at the next deathmatch. We might be able to just hang out and just intimidate, just based on the fact that we're in this marked van.
I like where you're going with that.
All right, the downside is we lose it all.
What's next and where are you heading?
Figuring out if there's anyone at the quarry or the volcano so that we get a heads up of what groups might actually come towards the...
There's a guy at the volcano, right? And so he's, maybe mid to late 40s. You do see that he's holding a rifle, but he seems to be like just hanging out down there, right? He's not in clear view. He obviously doesn't know that there's a camera that's pointing at him, but he seems like he might be trying to hide it out there.
Yeah, I would probably estimate that and say probably should just leave him alone. He's clearly got the high ground, and that was the intention.
If we just drive past him, he's probably going to hide. As long as we don't shoot at him, he's probably just going to leave us alone, right? So we can probably just drive past him.
Does the rifle look like it's long scope? Is he the one that shot the other guys from high ground?
It could be, yeah. It does look like a sniper's rifle or a hunting rifle.
In which case, we'll avoid him when we go around to the caves. We won't be sitting on that side of the vehicle.
Yeah. Sit on passenger side, take note.
So the volcano has got... The volcano you don't see anyone at the moment, right? There's no one up there. You can see, through the cameras, but it's also a very, very big area, right? So just because you can't see anyone on the cameras doesn't mean that no one's there. And at the quarry, you can just see that one guy that's got the sniper's rifle. What else?
That's good enough for me. I'd look around for some food. Just based on them having hazmat suits, I'd start, looking at myself, starting to see if I feel funny. And so let's load that van up and get moving.
Penny agrees with you, by the way. She's also hungry. And out in the van, you find a couple of little plastic Tupperware containers that have sandwiches in for these guys for their lunch, and there's an apple and a little like protein bar as well. So you can munch down on that while you head to your next destination, assuming you're going to another destination.
Yeah, and then I'd probably blow one of the tires on the Jeep in case someone decides to hotwire it.
Yeah. Yeah,
We need to break all of the stuff in this building as well, so nobody else sees anything.
Do what?
Sabotage it.
Oh, sabotage.
Panels and stuff.
Ooh, see, I was wondering about that because we already got the repercussions of having a hit squad come after us just by breaching the barrier. I am curious if we would further infuriate whoever's running this. If not on this island, if not on the next one, when they knock us out again and throw us in a boat.
How are they doing?
Oh, wait, no, we had to get in the boat on our own. Never mind.
And you willingly got in the boat. The butcher's just liking the idea of killing people at this point, but like you willingly got in that boat because there was food and there was like, there was good shit in there.
So we pushed our luck getting into this facility, and I know we're probably going to do it again unless it is actually safe. Who knows? Maybe we come back to this place if it's actually safe and people are there. I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out when we get there. I'm hesitant to start destroying property. Let's go with that.
Cut screen to Bobby. I just missed my coach.
Hey, Bobby, if you disagree, then I will happily allow you to have found a hand grenade that you can throw into the control room as well.
He's off hand grenades anyway.
I thought that might be fun.
You're prohibited. You're prohibited. I taught you. You don't fucking understand how to pull a pin. No.
He does know. He doesn't want you to know of what he knows. All right. So, which direction are you heading in? Sorry, which is the next location?
Caves.
Yeah, north of the cave, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So as you drive to the caves, like it is genuinely uneventful, right? And it's kind of nice that you're in this van, right, and you feel almost safe for a little while, right? You're driving away from any activity or any noise. So as you approach to the caves, you notice that some of the tunnels cut into the quarry, and the quarry was up north of this, right? So northeast or northwest, sorry. So some of the tunnels cut into the quarry lead to a series of caves under the hills. And so over on this side, shoot, I'm pointing at the wrong thing. So there's some entrances over here, and there's some tunnels that were in the north as well. So, excuse me. As you get to the caves, you realize that some of these have had concrete hallways built inside from what you can see, and you're able to see some cables and fluorescent lights. So the tunnels seem to be leading away as you kind of stumble on them. Now, as you know, for you to get there, there's we're gonna have to make a check because there are unfortunately, somebody already mentioned Indiana Jones. There are some improvised booby traps that you guys are going to stumble upon as you try to get inside of the cave. So let me have a look at this. So infiltrating the caves requires a redacted contest versus the improvised defenses of the cave system. So let me roll that really quick so you guys can figure out, and then in deference to where Tim is, we'll call this a night after this. All right, so improvise.
These choices about when things are redacted are just so interesting within the scope of this too.
Why? In what way?
They just seem arbitrary. There's no like justification for like what is redacted, just besides like, oh, the players don't understand this, so it's redacted. It's interesting. Yeah.
I'm thinking it as obviously the DM knows more than us for now, and Tony has mentioned a couple of people have done this before, so it makes me believe that it's kind of built in a little bit of the replayability for return winners, quote unquote.
So, a couple of things there, right? So, number one, I don't actually like the way that they've done this, where on your original map, like when I changed the map around, to the classified version, that's when we saw the emergency munitions cache, right? So I kind of feel this redacted stuff should be not on the map unless you find the classified thing, right? Or you stumble on it somehow, right?
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that, Tim. It feels weird to me. They've got some redacted stuff that you can cleanly see and some stuff that you can only see if you find the classified map. So I agree with what John said also about the replayability of it, but it does feel a little bit odd to me as well. All right, so hold on.
The caves in the emergency cache make sense because it sounds like something that could be buried, obviously, in the mountainside. The reactor I can see being on the map because literally being on this side of the volcano, you probably can't miss it.
I would agree. What I don't agree with is it being so it like saying it's redacted, but it has it there, right? So it should be when you get there, that's when you find out there's redacted stuff that helps you figure out what's going on in the game. That's what would kind of make more sense to me.
Yeah.
All right. So
having said that, the reactor facility, they were on site real quick, and the caves of the booby trap, right? So yeah.
Although I'm just noticing now that emergency cache is marked number 10, and if I'd paid attention and looked at the map, we'd see that there's no 10 on the map until we switched over. Unless the number's updated, and I didn't notice that.
No, that's true. All right, give me just one more second. I'm having trouble finding the improvised, the right thing here. Oh, here it is. Wait, okay. There we go.
Wow.
Oh, nice and easy. Nice and easy. So you guys are just trying to you see these caves, and there's a bunch of things that are stopping you getting into them. So figure out, and actually, Candice, you're the leader based on being the highest score in the last roll. So it's up to you to decide the approach and the goal that's going on here. So over to you.
Well, the issue with that is I don't know if it's booby trapping, which I don't know, unless you're telling me we get up there and it looks a little obvious of trapping. I guess it's more of a question.
That's absolutely correct. So as you get up there, you see, like, again, some Indiana Jones type stuff, right? You see some stakes, and this is just like a lucky glance where you're like, wait, what is this tripwire? And then you follow it back. And so you kind of get a sense that the entrance to this has been booby-trapped by people, and the more you look around, you find them. So that's what this contest is against. That makes sense?
Yeah. Watching the kids try to watch, they see Home Alone, and then they think they can set up traps. I'm kind of thinking kind of like a fishing expedition. If we had something like climbing gear, which we don't, would be just stand at a distance and see if we can't set them off and see what kind of trap it is to see if we can expect something on par with that deeper in.
So let's do it this way, because again, like, it's kind of recursive rather than the way it normally works. So let's make the roll, right? And then you can describe how you disarmed it or what you did, or rather than like us trying to figure out, is there something to give you a better dice roll? You roll the dice and then you narrate the outcome.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to think if it was just a single trap or if it's like a marathon.
Let's say, for the sake of argument, it's somewhere between a single trap and a marathon, right? So there's 3 or 4 different things that you guys have to... let's say it this way. There's 3 traps that you have to navigate, and each one of you is going to talk about the trap that you whatever it was in your talking head.
Okay, so I've got redacted. I could argue Home Alone style kind of trapping, but I don't know if that's realistic.
Oh, I'm very up for that.
I'm already at 3 fatigue, so I don't know if I can.
You would take a wound if you did that. If you did another one
on top of the 4th fatigue.
Correct. If you take that, so if you got 1 more fatigue, you can take that. But after that, you'll be taking wounds.
Okay. Question is, I'm assuming this would be a challenge beast.
No, it's redacted.
No, for the other capability and the fatigue.
Oh yeah.
I think you argue that, Tony.
Yeah, how you use your strength and agility.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take that argument. Trust. probably try and use a trust. Well, we're all doing this again. No, I can only trust people who are supporting, right? Use that trust.
Let me double check. I don't think that's the case.
He could use me as trust before. Do I have to do anything for that?
No, it just
I
take
didn't
you
do
just
anything
lose.
at the time.
You just lose a trust. Not lose, but you got trust. You got trust marks. You spend one.
Right. Yeah, that was him though, right? Because he did that. I don't do it after.
Correct, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna use one for Bobby. And what is he, a D8 now or D6?
D8.
Everett is D8, yeah.
So I'm just thinking about Bobby and his swift-footedness. And I don't have any acquisitions that make sense. All right, good.
We have those redacted ones.
And the thing, it's a 6 target number. You really shouldn't need to spend that much unless you roll for shit.
Yeah, you got 11. Beautiful. All right, beautiful. So we'll come back and do the narration afterwards. So next up, based on the last roll, it's Edgar and then Bobby.
All right, so redacted.
Oh,
there's a fail.
We will come back to that one, Edgar. All right, Bobby, over to you, bud.
Yeah, it's such a low number. We shouldn't have to use that much.
Yeah.
If I've just seen Edgar fail, I might use some trust in what Candace was doing before.
Skin your teeth.
Oof.
Okay. So,
all
right. So this is how this plays out. So Candace gets 6 new boxes of followers.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby gets 3. Edgar gets 1. Excuse me. Excuse me. Edgar fails a contest. He marks 1 fatigue. It was also a dangerous contest. So you mark 1 injury instead of fatigue. So starting with you, Edgar, narrate what happened as you were going into that cave that caused an injury.
Yeah, Edgar is just a bit cocksure and arrogant and starts walking forward, being like, yeah, fuck this, trying to reload his gun, talk about stuff, yelling at the same time, and just trips headlong in one of the booby traps and just stumbles, sprains a leg, ends up dropping his gun, poking himself in the eye with it, and starts screaming, "Oh God, we're being attacked!"
Oh my God, the Butcher is such a drama queen. I love it. All right, so next up is Bobby. So Bobby, tell us how you disarm the trap, and I will give you a bonus point if you can tie it into the Butcher's cowardice.
I don't think he does disarm it. What he does is he's just walking along behind and falls on his face. He's not even paying attention, though. He's just wandering behind. But because he's got support from Candace, which I paid for, Candace is busy doing the point down right where I'm about to step on the same booby trap tripwire. And then fall on my face as well. And I look down just in time before my foot does it, and you see this close up of my foot hovering just over the trip line, and then I put my foot back down, give a thumbs up to Candace, and step over it and walk on.
Freaking love it. All right, so Candace, take this home. Over to you. What do you do?
So Edgar sets off the tripwire. He goes around and get down. Charlie's in the area. I'll run. Like, hold on. I'll run back to the van and I'll realize that there was like a used up med kit, but there's like a splint roll that's left over, one of those compress ones, and I'll start grabbing some of the Tupperware and start filling it with dirt on the way through. And I'll come back and I'll sit there and bandage up his sprained ankle, and I'm giving him the kid talk about this is why we got to watch where we're going and pay attention to the things that we're doing. We can't let our guard down. And I'll look at the next tripwire, and instead of just leaving it for someone else, all of a sudden I just start throwing Tupperware. Just keep throwing it. And then the last one goes and trips it off, and as you watch as this is a modern society, so what's going on? It's not exactly going to be punji sticks or whatever, but maybe the floor still falls open, and there's all kinds of it's a pretty big gap to get across, and then all of a sudden you see it reset up afterwards. The pit of doom.
I love it. So the last talking head again is Pania, and pretty much exactly the same as last time. She says, just looks at camera, there's a pause, and he says, these guys are beep, 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 useless. All right, so as you guys get inside, let's mark down what you've gotten. By the way, that didn't change. I don't think it changed anyone for followers, right? Like you didn't get a nickname or get another dice, correct?
Nope.
All right, so...
Yeah.
As you're looking around, inside there are one tier 2 redacted acquisition for everyone, and then there are 2 tier 3 redacted acquisitions. So can you let me know, can you mark it on your sheet, whoever takes those 2 tier 3s? There was also, by the way, 1 tier 3 one in the last place, so it kind of feels like all of you get 1 tier 3 acquisition if we spread this out.
That's fine, assuming Paniel's not taking one.
Let's assume there was one more so that like no one gets screwed over here because she's kept her shotgun and wouldn't be like Mrs. Nice Gal. So she gets one as well. So as you're looking around in the caves, this is quite obviously like this has been like a hideout for competitors, right? Like, you know, different people have found this and made their way here. And there's like, you see skulls on sharpened sticks. Felt like a clear warning. There was a musty smell of sweat and human beings that lived in confined conditions. You find sleeping bags, canned food, a makeshift workshop and tool bench, unofficial and improvised weapons and gadgets. And there are some cryptic messages that have been left behind. So, excuse me. So as you're looking at these cryptic messages, the klaxon goes off and the voice comes over and it's, you know, again, from the speakers, and you hear them off in the distance because there isn't one particularly close to you, but you can still hear it. And it says, it has come to the end of phase 1 has come to an end. Phase 2 starts in 30 minutes. At the end of this, whoever is left will move on to the final step. So Pania looks at you guys and says, I don't know about you, but I say we just hide out here and see if the battle royal takes place without us. So with that, we're going to draw the session to an end now, and we'll draw the whole, you know, this mini campaign to a close next week. But Edgar, why don't you narrate us out? Why don't you do a final talking head and kind of summarize and close us out here?
Yeah, Edgar is leaned against a wall. He is an absurdly large bandage around just a sprained ankle. Just a sprained ankle. Looks like it's been broken. He's got it propped up. All these white bandages around it. And he is huffing and puffing, looking pale, and just saying, I don't even know how I got here. I don't even know how I got here. I'm so blessed. I've been surrounded by people who take care of me. I've got a goat man. I've got a guy with kids. I've got I don't even know. Lesbians really do love me. That's all I can say.
And with that, it cuts back to Pania, and she gets the final word. She says, "These guys are beep, 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 useless. Especially that fucking guy that thinks he's a hit with lesbians." And that's it, and we fade to black. So, gentlemen, thank you. That was, as always, that was an absolute hoot. I very much appreciate it. As I said a little bit earlier, next week will probably be the end for this campaign, or that is the goal with this. So I look forward to picking this up for the final campaign next week. On top of that, next week we will probably do a session 0 for the Distemper campaign, right? So assuming, I think we've probably got 30 to maybe 45 minutes left of this. So once we've run through this, we'll probably switch over to creating characters and just kind of like plotting out what's next for the Distemper campaign. Does that work?
Sure.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Well, thank you all. This is always Goatman and Butcher and Stay-at-Home Housewife. This has always been, like, as always, I have an absolute hoot playing with you guys. So thank you all very much. I shall speak to you next week.
See it.
All right. Take off.
Cheers, guys.
Later.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.